Lamar Jackson, kind of the talk of the town right now.
To wide receiver in the NFL. Polian said Jackson is not an accurate passer and is, quote, short and a little bit slight. Even though Jackson is listed at 6'3", he added that Jackson's athleticism and ability to make defenders miss is similar to Antonio Brown.
Piper is back. Todd McShay as well joining us here, and I've been clearance to fire up this segment, okay? All right? My job may depend on it. I'm just kidding. All right. Lamar Jackson didn't make your first mock draft, Mel. When the draft rolls around in April, how high could we see him go?
I think second round, and maybe late first if somebody wants to trade in. Max, you can't project trades at this stage of the first round and figure out what teams are going to do 25 to 32. They certainly could look at Lamar Jackson at that point.
But the way that will be received by many, I think, is that, or at least by some, is with a kind of a racial undertone. Not that Bill Polian would ever mean it that way, but that traditionally black quarterbacks at the college level were convinced or cajoled or otherwise pressured to change positions. I mean, Warren Moon couldn't get a job because he was told to be a wide receiver. And so when the numbers say Lamar Jackson has succeeded to the level he has, Heisman Trophy winner, at the college level, has completed a better percentage of his passes, et cetera, than some of the quarterbacks that Bill Polian mentioned, you know, hasn't even tried to play quarterback on the NFL level, some will bristle at the suggestion that he should be anything other than a quarterback.
But if the guy didn't want to play it, the guy doesn't want to play it.
Pro football is too hard to play anyway, let alone when you don't want to play the position that they're trying to make you play.
Well, so here's the thing, Danny. I'm just curious. Why do you think people want him to play wide receiver?
Well, I'll tell you why I think he's dropping in the draft. I mean, this is real talk, right? I think the reason he's dropped, and I don't think it has as much to do with race, is he struggles communicating. And it's a fact. He struggles communicating with interviews, when you talk to him, when you're in the press. And I think that scares off some general managers and some coaches in the NFL. And I think it's wrong, and I think it's the NFL wants their franchise quarterbacks to look and sound a certain way. And the reason I don't think it's about race as much is because E.J. Manuel was drafted 16th overall, and he didn't show you half as much on film or potential-wise as Lamar Jackson. But when you talk to him, he sounded like CEO of your company.
And he looks like the CEO.
And he looks like the CEO of your company.
So and that is something people make the mistake on quite often, which is sometimes people misconstrue intelligence and eloquence. There are very smart people who do not communicate great, and there are very dumb people who can speak the King's English. Like that. Now, where race is inextricably tied to that is we tend to give the benefit of the doubt to some people and not the benefit of the doubt to others. I've been very upset. I have become more of a Lamar Jackson fan due to how he has been discussed amongst the supposed draft experts because I feel so much of it is code. I listen to the preeminent draft expert. I'm not trying to throw shots, but it's the reality. Mel Kiper Jr., when he's asked about Josh Allen, the 6'5" prototypical white stand in the pocket passer, when he's asked about his 54% completion percentage, his quote on the conference call was, "Stats are for losers." When he is then asked about why he has Lamar Jackson as a wide receiver, his quote is, 57% completion concerns me. Like and we do see this. We don't ever, no one is suggesting, as Deontay, one of our producers, said before the show, Josh Allen maybe should be a tight end. You know what? I think he's got the size and we only tend to say the guys who should change position is the black quarterback. Now, the eloquence thing is interesting because people do expect your quarterback to be able to communicate well, and that is important. But I just think there is some code going along with the discussion of Lamar Jackson.
Danny, who does Lamar Jackson remind you of?
So
it's narrow-minded and ignorance, in my opinion, to even allow that to be the case. I looked at the position as if you're good enough to play, you'll play it. Little league, middle school, high school, you want to be just like those guys. Coming up in Little League, it never was an issue of color. You know, Little League there's no color on kids. You know, you get to middle school, there is no color on it either. Matter of fact, if anything, if you can throw the football and you have speed, 8 to 9 out of 10 times you will play quarterback. And so it never was an issue of playing any other position. That's all I played was quarterback, really. But it never been you being questioned playing that position because of your color. I didn't have to deal with that until I got ready to go to the National Football League.
I mean, most quarters, they always call us in media, we're not a quarterback first, we're an athletic quarterback. The people saying that we can't play the position because of we can use our legs a little bit more than most guys, and I just really hate it.
Need I remind you that Lamar Jackson is 6'3"? That's 3 full inches taller than Drew Brees. That's 4 full inches taller than Russell Wilson. Lamar Jackson is incredibly athletic, gifted from a speed, agility, athleticism standpoint. But here's the thing. We don't know if he can catch the football. But from Polian's standpoint, well, you know, he runs a lot, so he should probably become a wide receiver. What? What? He's 6'3". He's not too short. Polian, in trying to make his point, said he shouldn't wait until he's 29 like that kid from Ohio State. Oh, you mean Terrell Pryor? He's got a name. And oh, by the way, Terrell Pryor made that switch at 26. And if Lamar Jackson is also drafted in the first round, why would you tell him, don't get drafted in the first round? You don't want all that money. You should switch to wide receiver and get drafted in the 5th round as a project. That'd be way better for your career. What kind of stupid analysis is that? What kind of old, ridiculous, out-of-touch, uneducated analysis is that? Lamar Jackson won the Heisman Trophy.
Swag Central.